Good afternoon, everyone. We're expecting over 90 people on the call, so we're going to wait just a few minutes to get started. I think it's time to get started. Thank you, everyone, for joining us during your lunchtime for a scoop of transportation information. There's more than one way to commute, and we're going to go over all of your commuting options to get to UCSF campuses. I want to remind you that CLS is hosting several short webinars to present scoops of information to get our community up to date with the going-ons at UCSF. The next scoop will be on housing, so join housing for that call. So a little pop quiz, and please put your answers in the chat. Where does the UCSF community live? What, by county? Let's start by county. Put your answers in the chat. Where do you think the UCSF community lives? I see San Francisco, Alameda, Santa Clara County, Bay Area, Alameda. And you guys are hitting the mark. The majority of our community lives in the city and county of San Francisco. Right behind there is Alameda County and San Mateo County, with Contra Costa just after that. The folks slightly further away across our bridges in Napa, Sonoma, Santa Clara, Solano, Marin, They're a much smaller proportion, but they do definitely come to our campuses as well. I want to give you an overview on what's going on regionally for driving and commuting in the Bay Area. Especially if you take the same commute regularly, you might not realize what's going on across the Bay. Regional transit agencies are at pre-COVID levels or very close to that. Freeway congestion is worsening, and you'll see that in the East Bay. And if you look at the map, it's the red arrows. Anything that's funneling through the Bay Bridge, that congestion really has increased. In the South Bay, however, extended work from home really is encouraging more people to drive because the freeways are empty, people aren't really working in their offices, more people are choosing to drive in that area. The traffic just isn't there quite yet. Commuters switching back to transit really depends on several factors. It's your home location, price elasticity, and your time sensitivity. What does that mean for UCSF? Regional traffic conditions definitely affect commuter behavior here in San Francisco and to our campuses. UCSF commuters will switch back to transit gradually as traffic congestion worsens, driving becomes more painful, and transit becomes attractive again. In the near term, we expect that the parking situation will continue to be challenging, particularly at Parnassus. And those of you commuting to Parnassus are already feeling that pinch. Shuttle services will continue at current levels until demand increases significantly. And I'm going to introduce Arlene on our transportation team to go over shuttles.
Thanks, Georgina. Hi, everyone. I'm happy to join you today to give an overview of the UCSF Shuttle Service. Shuttle Service is free of charge for the UCSF community, and we welcome you to get on board to connect to all the major campus locations and to transit hubs, including BART. I want to start by letting you know that the best place to plan your trip is to go to our Shuttles webpage, which is shuttles.ucsf.edu. There you will be connected to all of our online resources, including the shuttle map that you see here, also our shuttle schedules, and a link to Live Shuttle on the UCSF mobile app. Live Shuttle provides you with real-time departures on your phone. So it is literally the best way to get information while you're out on the go. And just a reminder, when you're riding the shuttles, all passengers are required to wear a mask and to refrain from eating or drinking on the shuttles. And on the next slide, if you haven't taken a shuttle recently, you might be wondering what's new. Well, here's some of the highlights. First, the shuttle stop at Parnassus Heights has moved. The stop in front of LPPI is now down the street. It's conveniently located right across the street from the stop at the UCSF library. Second, all of our shuttle schedules have been revised to reflect our current ridership and anticipated demand. And third, we've got new connections to BART. The blue and gold shuttles now connect to BART's Civic Center station. Lime also connects the Parnassus Heights campus to the 16th and Mission BART station. And that is in addition to the red shuttle, which has always connected the Mission Bay campus to BART. And before I hand it back to Georgina, I want to again encourage you to ride UCSF shuttles. It's a great way to get around campuses and throughout the city. And when you want to plan your trip, go to shuttles.ucsf.edu to plug into all of our trip planning resources. Thank you.
Right. Another great resource to plan your trip is MyCommute. This is a UCSF specific site where you can plan your trip, but also match with carpools, vanpools, and bike buddies. So if you have the flexibility to try an alternative to driving alone, please start at MyCommute to plan your trip. It's personalized based on your home and destination, so which UCSF campus. It'll give you a list of options that are available to you. So if you see in the image, this is MyCommute. I've got 2 vanpools that are open to me. It'll give me some transit information, walking information, biking and driving. This is specific to UCSF. So on your map, you can turn on and off things like bike facilities, parking facilities. It really is tailored for UCSF. If you'd like to connect with a carpool here, There's a great chat feature, and that connects you to folks' email at UCSF. If you choose to carpool, there's lots of advantages. Some folks just like the convenience and comfort of riding in a car. But carpooling, which is 2 or 3 people, depending on which bridge and which expressway you're looking at, does allow you to get into the HOV lane and express lanes. For crossing the bridges, your tolls may be reduced because you're in a carpool or vanpool. I'll add to that. If you're making a connection at BART, there's also a way for faster parking through BART if you're carpooling. You can share commuting costs and arrive less stressed and ready to work. There are also public carpool options, such as casual carpool, scoop, and Waze carpool. The casual carpool is actually very, very casual. It's very on the fly. You arrive and get matched into a car or as a driver. Scoop and Waze carpool are both app-based services that help you get into a carpool. Carpools are great ways to get in touch with 2 or 3 people to share a car, but once you've got 5 or more people, a vanpool might be a good option for you. Vanpooling at UCSF gives you access to free parking. It's an over $300 value. And there are subsidies available through UCSF and the Metropolitan Transportation Commission in order to keep fees low. The vehicle comes from Commute with Enterprise and includes maintenance, roadside assistance, and it's a great, comfortable way to ride, especially when you're going longer distances and crossing a bridge. I will remind everyone that while UCSF has a high vaccination and booster rate and daily health screenings, if you're carpooling or vanpooling, speak with the people that you're sharing a ride. Make sure you're on the same page for public health and cleanliness. I'd like to touch on pre-tax commuter benefits. They're a great way to help you pay for your commute to and from work using pre-tax dollars. Saves you money and on your taxes each year. You can use commuter benefits for public transit like BART, Muni, AC Transit, Caltrain. You can use it to pay for vanpool and qualified parking expenses. When Uber and Lyft reopen their pool options, then that money can be used for that as well. UCSF contracts with Edenred Commuter Benefit Solutions. It's a commuter benefit management company to administer the pre-tax program through their website. It's actually very simple. You log on, you choose how much money you would like to set aside monthly from your payroll. It will be placed onto a turquoise colored MasterCard that will be mailed to you. And then you use that card to make your payments, whether it's adding funds to your Clipper card or perhaps paying for parking. Biking, if you have the flexibility to try biking, if you're within San Francisco or if you don't mind connecting on public transit, biking is a great option. We've just completed renovation of the Millbury Union Bike enclosure, and that's on the first level of the Irving Street entrance at Parnassus Heights. There are bike lockers available at the 3rd Street garage. Please bring your own lock. These are for daily use. And there is free online bike registration. You don't need to come into our offices. It's online. We will mail you a bike sticker that you can put onto your bike. And this helps us communicate with you. And if anything happens to your bike, hopefully we can reunite you with that bike based on that sticker. I will remind you, it is free. And these bike enclosures are at Parnassus, Mission Bay, Mount Zion. Also in our parking structures are EV charging stations. So there's a variety to choose from: ChargePoint, Volta. So please take a look online and see where you would like to park and what type of facilities are available for you. EV is a great option to, especially with gas prices going up, it's a great option to keep your costs low. It's great for the environment and it helps UCSF meet our sustainability goals. Regardless of how you get to UCSF, please plan ahead. We're expecting more patients and staff coming on campus now that we're well into March and our return to campus. There will be more folks on site. Utilize parking lots in the vicinity or non-UCSF facilities, and spaces are at comparable rates if you must drive. If you must drive, try carpooling and vanpooling. Share that ride, get more people into your car and split the cost. More commuting options are public transit like Muni, BART, Caltrain, Our UCSF shuttles are a great option, not only to get in between campuses, but to help connect you to BART. Carpool, Vanpool, biking, walking, and driving are all great options that you can try. And don't forget to save money on your commute using pre-tax commuter benefits. Now, Arlene and I are here to answer your questions. Please put them in the chat, or if you'd like to unmute yourself.
Yeah, I haven't seen any questions in the chat so far. So while we wait for people to type in their questions, I'll ask you one that we get asked often, Georgina, which is what type of expenses qualify for the pre-tax commuter benefit program?
Absolutely. So for pre-taxes, there's two types of accounts, and one is transit, and that can be anything that's, BART, Muni, AC Transit, Caltrain, any of those buses, ferries. It covers all of that, including Vanpool fees. There's also a second account specifically for parking, and you can use your pre-tax commuter benefits to pay for parking at UCSF, at non-UCSF facilities, parking at Caltrain or BART. So there are lots of benefits in different ways on how to spend those funds.
Great, thank you. As Georgina said, if anybody has any questions, feel free to unmute yourself. I still don't see anything new in the chat, but you can also use the chat function as well.
I will add to the pre-tax commuter benefits. Once you're enrolled and using the system, you can go back in at any time and manage your account. If you find that you're deducting too much money and not spending it all, you can log in and lower that amount. Keep as much money in your pocket as possible. If you realize that you're running out every month, you can go back in and just up your deductible. You can elect to have up to $280 per month taken out of your payroll. And if your fees or your costs go over $280, please put the entire dollar amount on there. And that way you can just make your payments to whatever you choose to do with one card. It makes it easier. Anything over $280 will be post-tax. Money does roll over. You can, if you're not familiar with the Clipper card, you can, I believe, have up to 2 Clipper cards attached to one account.
That's great. Thanks, Georgina. I also see a question regarding shuttle times and the UCSF mobile app. And so I will take this time to give a plug for the UCSF mobile app. Hopefully all of you have it downloaded on your phone. When you go into the mobile app, if you click on the Go tab, there are shuttle schedules there. So our printed timetables there. You can also access live shuttle, which is real-time information. We also have our Twitter feed there. So if for some reason something happens and a shuttle is running late or there was a hiccup with one of the vehicles, we'll let you know there if there's any anticipated delays for the day. So that is a great resource. And Georgina, I see another question for you here about MyCommute. Is it up to date with the latest public transit options?
It is up to date. I would give it a day or two, because the company that updates the background on, say, Muni or ferries, they might take a day or two to update. I know the ferry to Berkeley recently was updated, and it took a day or two for them to get that information up to date.
And I see another question here about bike share apps. Do those expenses qualify for commuter benefits?
So the pre-tax commuter benefits cannot be used for bike sharing apps.
Great. We've got another shuttle question. It's related to how frequently schedules or routes would be changed if a need was identified. I will let everybody know that we just recently revised shuttle schedules, and we do not anticipate that happening very often. We will, of course, adjust as needed if there's a significant change in demand, but we do not expect to be making a lot of changes very quickly. Things are pretty set right now, so hopefully we'll be good for some time. And if any changes do occur, we will let everybody know with information on the shuttles on our website and oftentimes by email as well. Okay, I see a question about the Uber, Lyft, and commuter benefits. Georgina, do you want to talk about that again?
Absolutely. So I believe it's Lyft Pool. When the pool option comes back, and I've heard that it's coming back in 2022, pre-tax commuter benefits can be used to pay for the Lyft Pool option. And that really is based on Uber and Lyft. I believe it's their drivers, and to make sure that there's enough coverage and that the public health is in a good place, not only for the riders that are being matched, but for the drivers. I wanted to add about the bike sharing apps, that the greatest benefit, the greatest convenience is if you get the annual membership. That's how to keep your costs as low as possible. You're less likely to get kind of overage fees beyond the initial rental.
Great. And I also see a question about gas. Do gas expenses qualify?
I will tell you that gas expenses, toll expenses, vehicle maintenance, anything that is specifically drive alone related is not covered. The pre-tax commuter benefits are really to try to be an alternative to drive alone, to encourage people to try more sustainable options.
Great. I also see a question about where to find this recording after today's event. This event is part of Campus Life Services Scoops presentations. There will be a couple from transportation as well as other units, including housing. So you can go to the Campus Life Services website and search for Scoops, and you'll find a list of them all. We will also place our transportation recording on our website as well, which is transportation.ucsf.edu.
So I believe we've gone just past our time, and I think the questions are slowing down. I just want to remind you that Arlene just said it, there are more Scoop presentations coming up. So if you're interested in housing, that's coming up on March 17th. Please join us for that one. And you'll see emails coming out with more Scoop presentations coming in the future on different topics. So thank you everyone for your time. Thank you for spending some of your lunch with us. Please put your questions in chat or email us at transportation@ucsf.edu.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, I missed the answer. Can you repeat if the debit card for the pre-tax commuting can be used for the Bay Wheels lift bike option?
No, it cannot. Currently, it cannot.
Right,
it is a federally regulated program, this pre-tax, and they are trying to include more biking in the future. It hasn't quite been approved yet, but they are trying to do that in the future.
All right, thanks.
Yeah. Okay.
But we can use it to load up a Clipper card, correct?
You can load your Clipper card, yes. And then Clipper card can be used, anywhere a Clipper card is accepted. Ferries, Caltrain, Muni, all of that good stuff. Are there any other questions? I think we're going to wrap up. All right, thank you everyone for your time. I'm going to close out the meeting. Have a nice afternoon.